Good evening, and welcome to Daily Top Bulletin, bringing you the top 10 current affairs headlines in the most simple, clear, and exam-focused format for UPSC and competitive exams. Every headline is carefully selected to keep your preparation ahead of the competition. Let's begin with today's top 10 news.
12th June 2026. One India summons U.S. envoy over attacks on merchant vessels with Indian crews. What happened? India issued a strong diplomatic protest and summoned the U.S. Deputy Chief of Mission, Jason Meeks, after 3 merchant vessels carrying Indian seafarers were attacked by U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, naval forces near the Omani coast, leading to the confirmed deaths of 3 Indian sailors on the tanker MT Setabelo. Key facts to remember. Location of incident: off the coast of Oman, a strategic maritime zone near the Arabian Sea. Vessels involved: Palau flag tankers Marivex Setabelo and a Guinea-Bissau flag tanker, Jalvir. UPSC relevance: freedom of navigation, maritime security in the Western Indian Ocean, and safety of Indian diaspora seafarers, GS Paper 2. Bilateral relations involving India's interests. 2 Ministry of Defense signs 449 crore deal for indigenous ECGNSS jammers. What happened? The Ministry of Defense, Modi, finalized a 449 crore contract with Accord Software and Systems Private Limited for the procurement of 20 Enhanced Capability Global Navigation Satellite System, ECGNSS, jammers for the Indian Navy. Key facts to remember. Procurement category: procured under the Buy Indian, IDDM, indigenously designed, developed and manufactured category, featuring 75% indigenous content. Capabilities: these electronic warfare (EO) tools disrupt hostile GNSS, tracking through spoofing and deceptive jamming to protect Navy ships from satellite-targeted threats. UPSC relevance: indigenization of technology, Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense production, GS Paper 3, security challenges and their management. 3. Justice Balakrishnan Commission completes report on SC status for Dalit converts. What happened? The 3-member Commission of Inquiry, led by former Chief Justice of India K.G. Balakrishnan, finalized its comprehensive report assessing whether scheduled caste (SC) status should be extended to Dalits who converted to Islam or Christianity. Key facts to remember. Background: formed by the Union government in October 2022 to assist the Supreme Court in a 20-year-old pending legal challenge. Current framework: the Constitution, Scheduled Castes, Order 1950, specifies that only individuals professing Hinduism, Sikhism, or Buddhism can be deemed members of a scheduled caste. UPSC relevance: statutory and constitutional bodies, welfare schemes for vulnerable sections, GS Paper 2, social justice and Indian Constitution. 4. Health Ministry commemorates decade of Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, PMSMA. What happened? Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda launched nationwide celebrations under the theme 10 Years of PMSMA, A Decade of Care, and released a special Rupee 75 commemorative coin and Rupee 5 postal stamp to mark its successful impact on maternal health care. Key facts to remember. The scheme, launched in 2016, PMSMA provides assured, comprehensive, and free antenatal care (ANC) services to all pregnant women on the 9th of every month across public health facilities. Goal: to reduce India's maternal mortality ratio (MMR) and infant mortality rate (IMR). UPSC relevance: government policies and interventions for development in health sectors, GS Paper 2, social sector health. 5. MNRE to host Global Wind Day 2026, conference to accelerate 2030 targets. What happened? The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE, announced it will host the Global Wind Day 2026 conference on June 15 in Goa, themed Wind Energy, from Ambition to Acceleration, highlighting a record 6.1 GW addition in the 2025-26 fiscal year. Key facts to remember. India's global standing. India is the fourth largest wind power market globally. Targets: India aims to achieve 100 GW of wind energy by 2030 and 155 GW by 2035, serving as a pillar for its target of 500 GW non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030 and net zero emissions by 2070. UPSC relevance: Infrastructure, Renewable Energy and Climate Change Mitigation, GS Paper 3, Environment and Economy. 6 Cabinet approves Textile PLI Round 3 and Ahmedabad Metro Phase 2. What happened? The Union Cabinet approved 22 new applicants under Round 3 of the Production-Linked Incentive (PLI) scheme for textiles, with an investment of 2,339.14 crore, alongside approving Phase 2A of the Ahmedabad Metro Rail project to connect the city with its airport. Key facts to remember: PLI focus areas focuses heavily on sunrise segments, man-made fiber, MMF, apparel, MMF fabrics, and technical textiles. Ahmedabad Metro Phase 2A covers a 6.032 km corridor from Kochwar Road to Ahmedabad Airport at an estimated cost of 2,169.04 crore. UPSC relevance: Government incentives for industrial growth, urban infrastructure layout, GS Paper 3, economic development and infrastructure. 7. India invited as partner country for the 52nd G7 summit in France, proposed for Strait of Hormuz initiative. What happened?
The Ministry of External Affairs briefed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will travel to Evian, France, for the 52nd G7 summit, June 15th to 17th. Concurrently, French sources revealed a proposal for India to join a multinational maritime initiative to secure the Strait of Hormuz. Key facts to remember: Summit milestones: this is India's 13th participation at the G7 summit and PM Modi's 7th consecutive appearance. Other partner countries invited include Brazil, Egypt, South Korea, and Kenya. Strategic geography: the Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, handling a vast volume of the world's crude oil shipments. UPSC relevance: important international institutions, global choke points, and regional security groupings. GS Paper 2. International relations. 8. RBI tightens bank lending norms for REITs and INVITs via Third Amendment directions, 2026. What happened? The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, issued the Third Amendment directions, 2026, modifying the regulatory framework for commercial bank exposures and loans to real estate investment trusts, REITs, and infrastructure investment trusts, INVITs. Key facts to remember: objective: to strengthen credit risk assessments, manage macroprudential risks, and avoid over-leveraging in infrastructure and real estate assets. Instruments: REITs and INVITs function similarly to mutual funds, allowing retail and institutional investors to pool money to invest in income-yielding real estate and infrastructure projects. UPSC relevance: mobilization of resources, banking regulations, and financial stability. GS Paper 3. Indian economy. 9. Home Ministry targets near total withdrawal of AFSBA from the Northeast by 2027. What happened? National data reviews indicate the Ministry of Home Affairs, MHA, has advanced plans to completely withdraw the Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958, AFSBA, from almost all parts of the Northeast region by next year due to improved security parameters. Key facts to remember: FSBA powers. Governed under the 1958 Act, it gives special powers to the armed forces in areas declared as disturbed areas under Section 3, including legal immunity for operations and the power to search, arrest, or open fire. UPSC relevance: internal security dynamics, balancing human rights and state security. GS Paper 3. Linkages between development and spread of extremism/internal security. 10. NFHS. 6 data sparks debate on women's reproductive autonomy in India. What happened? Newly analyzed data from the National Family Health Survey, 6, NFHS 6, highlighted structural gaps in women's reproductive agency, pointing to high rates of early marriages and a disproportionate domestic reliance on female sterilization over alternative family planning. Key facts to remember. Agency definition. Reproductive autonomy refers to the control an individual has over their fertility, pregnancy, and contraceptive choices without coercion. Nodal agency. NFHS is conducted under the aegis of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare with the International Institute for Population Sciences, IPS, Mumbai, acting as the nodal agency. UPSC relevance. Population and associated issues, role of women and women's organizations. GS Paper 1 and 2, Social Issues and Governance. Thank you for tuning in to Daily Top Bulletin. Stay updated, stay prepared, and stay ahead in your UPSC and competitive exam journey. We'll be back tomorrow with another set of the day's most important current affairs headlines. Until then, keep learning and keep growing. Good night, and see you in the next bulletin.